There's movement all over the place. 5 meters, man. 4.
Aliens. This time, it's war.
Yours truly, Brennan Thompson, is back to conclude 80s May with Aliens, which was written and directed by James Cameron, and is probably my favorite film in the entire Alien franchise. But before I discuss my thoughts on this masterpiece, I want to give a big thank you to my friend Sarah from Sarah of Horror for collaborating with me on Alien. It's so good to have her back on this channel. So before I discuss my thoughts on Aliens, it's your go, Sarah.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah of Horror, and I want to thank Brennan for letting me collaborating on this review of Aliens. So, Aliens, it's from 1986. It's a collaboration between the Great Britain and the US. It is directed by James Cameron. It's written by James Cameron with additional story by David Giler and Walter Hill. So it's starring Sigourney Weaver, Michael Biehn, Carrie Henn, Paul Reiser, Lance Henriksen, Bill Paxton, William Hope, Jeanette Goldstein, and Al Matthews, among a lot of people. So in this one, we have a crew finding Sigourney Weaver 57 years after she and her crew were attacked on board, and she is awakened from her hypersleep. And now, she tries, of course, to warn everyone about what happened on board her ship. But not a lot of them take her seriously. So, but they get a crew, and she will be their consultant, and they will try to find this thing and kill it, basically. So I've seen this one a couple of times now and just rewatched it, and I have to say that I do like it. I do like the story, and Sigourney Weaver as Ripley is really phenomenal. She was phenomenal in the first one, and she is back, and she's really good in this one. And I also like that we have a lot of side characters that we get to know, and we also have all of these different soldiers. And even though not a lot of them get enough screen time to really develop their characters, we still kind of get to know some details about them. And I mean, that is fine in my opinion. It kind of works. But a lot of these soldiers are kind of, typical or stereotypical soldiers. And you think oh, okay, yeah, they're trying to be tough and cool and be like, an alien. No, that's not a problem. We'll just, I have my big gun with me and we'll just kill him. And so, in a way, this story is kind of predictable. You kind of figure out what will happen, but there are some new things thrown into this, especially the kind of boss fight between Sigourney Weaver, of course, the alien and the xenomorph. And I really like that because she's put in this big kind of machine that she knows how to operate. And I really like that they put that in there. Then we have this little girl that Ripley finds, Newt. And I think that was a really nice touch in addition to the story, which kind of propels it forward and really makes everything work. And then, of course, we have more of the xenomorphs, more, the aliens coming out, and yeah. But what I do think is lacking a bit, and what I really like with the first one, we had a lot of scenes that were kind of quiet, where, the predator, the xenomorph, was just walking around, or we didn't see it so much, but we kind of got a sense of it, and that build-up is really what made the first movie work so well. I think it was a bit lacking in those scenes because I don't know, I didn't get that, intimate, just kind of one-on-one feeling a lot that I got in the first movie. But I understand why they made everything, there's more of them. They were kind of like, jumping out attacks and attacking all of the crew, all of the soldiers. So, those scenes were kind of bigger in this one, so to speak, not as intimate. But we did get just some scenes with that in, but in my opinion, not enough of that. So that is probably why I do think the first one is better, but I also like this one a lot as well, especially due to Sigourney Weaver, as I said. So this one will get an 8 out of 10 from me. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you think about this one, Brennan. So thank you so much, and if any of you are new to me, as I said, my name is Sarah of Horror, and you can find me on my YouTube channel, Sarah of Horror. So thank you so much. Over to you, Brennan.
So after the events of Alien, Ripley has been drifting in space while in cryosleep. She's rescued by a deep salvage team, and she realizes that she's been asleep for 57 years, as well as discovering that her daughter has sadly passed away while she was in cryosleep. After being questioned by the company, Weyland-Yutani, she gets her pilot license taken away while not being charged with the damages to the Nostromo. As well as discovering that the company is colonizing the planet that the aliens came from, LV-426. When the company loses contact with the colony, they recruit Ripley, so she and a group of colonial marines go to LV-426 to wipe out the alien hive. So Aliens is very different from Alien in almost every way possible. And what I like about it is that James Cameron did not try to copy what Ridley Scott did in the 79 classic, and he really added his own style to this franchise. And one thing I also really enjoy about this film is the characters, especially Ripley. Sigourney Weaver was nominated for an Oscar for her performance, and this is definitely the best that we get out of Ripley in this entire franchise. There's, of course, Michael Biehn as Hicks, Lance Henriksen as Bishop, and Bill Paxton, rest in peace, was incredible as Hudson. Game over, man! Game over!
Well, that's great. That's just fucking great, man.
But the chemistry between Ripley and Newt, played by Carrie Henn, is definitely the heart and soul of this entire movie. As their relationship progresses over the course of the film, it definitely becomes a mother and daughter type relationship. While the film has great action sequences, it does not lose the horror roots of the first Alien movie, because having one alien is terrifying, but having many xenomorphs against a group of trained soldiers is even more terrifying. Because when you have xenomorphs like jumping through the walls and through the ceiling and grabbing you through the floorboards, plus they have acidic blood, you're pretty much fucked. And the third act of Aliens is my favorite third act of the entire Alien franchise, with Ripley going into the alien's nest with a pulse rifle with a flamethrower duct tape to it, and she saves Newt, and they first encountered the alien queen. I love the look of this thing. It's massive! And her, destroying the eggs and mowing down xenomorphs with the pulse rifle. I mean, this film makes Ripley such a badass. And that's one thing I like about James Cameron directing female characters, is that he makes them strong, independent women. I mean, he has a thing about making strong female characters. In the case with Ripley, and in his previous movie, The Terminator, with Sarah Connor. And of course, I cannot forget to mention the big punch-up between Ripley and the Alien Queen on the Sulaco, and the iconic line, "Get away from her, you bitch!" I get chills every single time she says it.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Despite watching this movie countless times, more than often than the first one, I really have no problems with Aliens. It's pretty much a flawless film. It's one of the best sequels ever made. It's one of the best movies from the 80s. It's one of the best action sci-fi horror films ever made. And it's one of James Cameron's best. And if you have not checked out Aliens, at least watch Alien first, and you're in for one hell of a fucking ride with Aliens. So, you all know where this is going. Aliens deserves an A+. So what do y'all think of Aliens? Let me know in the comments below. And again, a big thank you for Sarah of Horror collaborating with me on Aliens. Thank you so much. And guys, thank you so much as always for watching. Looking forward to doing more videos really soon. And if you want my thoughts on old or new movies, of course, you know where to find me.